Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh to Madam Azwani. My name is Nurul Alisa binti Muhammad Zain and today I would like to explain more about types of indexes. Okay, what is indexes? Indexes come in many variations of form, arrangement and purpose. This is including of hybrid, crossovers and combination. Indexing is a data structure technique which allow you to quickly retrieve record from a database file. Basically, indexing will guide users to the intellectual content and physical location of a document. Actually, in traditional lists, there are 22 types of indexes. However, in the digital of information age, the name of 22 types are not always appropriate, but it is useful to examine the more common form. Okay, we go to the next slide, which is 4 types of level indexing. Firstly, word and name indexes. It is called as core condensers, index solely based on the actual word that make up the text. For example, individual names and words that the author used in the text. Secondly is periodical. Periodical is current publication, multidisciplinary subject. It is comprehensive and normally prepared by the expert. Next is book index. Book index is a list of words that are alphabetically arranged at the back of the book. It is a given location of a specific subject matter or name associated with each word. Last but not least is informational retrieval system indexes. It is defined as selective systematic recall of logically stored information. For example, the use of OPEC at UiTM Puncak Perdana Library. Okay, we go specifically to 22 types of indexes. Firstly, it is alphabetical indexes. An alphabetical index is a list of keywords or phrases used throughout a document that, if listed in order, may help the reader find information quickly. It is use of arrangement of main heading, subheading, cross-reference and qualifying term. There are two basic approach to alphabetizing, letter by letter and word by word. This is two examples that I found about the letter by letter, word by word. Okay, we go to the next slide, which is author indexes. Author indexes is referred to user can find article written by a specific author. Author are listed in alphabetical order. This is to maintain consistency in author indexes, a number of names to be allowed per entry, the method of alphabetizing to be used, and it might be use of full names and abbreviation. So this is two examples that I found how the author indexes can be right. Okay, let's go to the next type is book index. Let's go more further and specific about these types. An index is essentially a roadmap to the book, listing name, place and things in alphabetical order and giving the page number associated with each topic. For non-fiction book, packed with valuable information, a well-made index can help quickly direct the reader to the information they are trying to find. It is actually appear at the end of the book. So here is two examples that I found that mention about book index process. Okay, we go to the next type, which is chain indexes. A chain indexes is an index number in which the value of any given period is related to the value of its immediately preceding period. This is distinct from the fixed base index, where the value of every period in the time series indirectly related to the same value of one fixed base period. This index type is called a chain index because individual indices with previous period 100 can be chained together by multiplying all consecutive indices, thus converting them into a series of indices with the first reference period. This way, the consecutive values of the index number form a chain as it were from the first reference to the last period. So for more clearly explanation, I have put one example of chain index type. Okay, next is citation indexes. Citation indexes is a collection of bibliographic data, the grouping of words. Citation indexes differ greatly from the other indexes. The author will tell us what are the related documents through his bibliographies that he used in the prepared of document. Citation indexing makes link between book and article that were written in the past and article that make reference to cite this older publication. In other words, it is a technique that allows us to trace the use of an idea forward to others who have used it. So here is one example that I found about the citation indexes process. Okay, we go to the next type, which is classify indexes. A listing of heading organized into group based on similar characteristics rather than in alphabetical order that point into information relevant to the heading in material organized in some other manner. Classify indexes are typically hierarchical using general heading that is further subdivided by more specific heading. It is a popular as a guide to specialize the situation and also useful for generic searcher when the retriever is aiming for classes of document. So here is one example of classify indexes. Okay, next is coordinate indexes. A set of rules to provide access to material by assigning separate heading for each concept, which are then related during a search to retrieve material but based on the relationship among those headings. It is divided on two categories, which is post-coordinate index and pre-coordinate index. So here is one example that the combination of post-coordinate index and pre-coordinate index. Okay, for the next type is cumulative indexes, an index that combines entries from previous indexes to provide integrated access to a larger body of material. An example of a cumulative index is an annual index to monthly report that integrate separate monthly indexes produced for each report. Next is database indexes. Indexing is a way to optimize the performance of a database by minimizing the number of disk accesses required when a query is processed. It is a data structure technique which is used to quickly locate and access the data in a database. So here is example of database indexes that I can show. Okay, next is faceted indexes. A faceted scheme is a type of synthetic classification often called an analytic synthetic system. Also, in philosophical basic, faceted indexes refer to an author look at a subject in a different way or brings out new idea or a new discovery. The aim is to identify the aspect of facet and complex subject and then objectivity synthesis this aspect. So here is one example of faceted indexes.
Okay, next index is first line index. First line index provides a database of the first line of manuscript works held by contributing institution. This enables researchers to work across institutions in the course of their inquiries. So here is one example of first line index. Next, hypertext media. Hypertext media, known as hypermedia index, is a system with non-textual content called hypermedia to denote the fact that hypertext can not only include text but also non-textual data such as sound, image, animation, and audiovisual data in digitized form. The term hypertext and multimedia are used throughout this chapter to cover both hypertext and hypermedia system. Here is example of this index. Okay, next is image indexes. An index image consists of an array called X in this documentation and a color map metric called map. The pixel value in the array are direct into a color map. So here is example to make it clear about the image indexes. Next, we go to internet indexes. Web indexing or internet indexing refer to various methods for indexing the content of a website or of the internet as a whole. Individual website or intranet may use a back-of-the-book index, while search engine usually use keyword and metadata to provide a more useful vocabulary for internet and on-site searching. With the increase in the number of periodicals that have article online, web indexing is also becoming important for periodical websites.
Okay, we go to the next slide, which is keyword indexes. Keyword indexes refer to the process used to make article findable in database. When these articles are added to a database, they are tagged with various keywords called controlled vocabularies that make the article findable via searching. Because of this tag, database searching works best when you use keyword in your searching for individual words or short phrases, rather than long sentence like you might type in Google. For example, in Google, you might search for the topic like this: what were the physiological effect of Hurricane Katrina on New Orleans residents? In database, however, because of keyword indexing, you would have better luck with a search like Hurricane Katrina and physiology and effect. Okay, we go to the next type, which is multimedia indexes. Multimedia data indexing refer to the problem of pre-processing a database of multimedia objects so that they can be efficiently searched for on the basis of their content. Due to the nature of multimedia data, indexing solutions are needed to efficiently support similarity queries, where the similarity of two objects is usually defined by some expert of the domain and can vary depending on the specific application. So here is one example of multimedia indexes. Next is periodical indexes. A periodical index provides access to a periodical article by subject or author. A periodical index can help you find article about a specific topic. An index will point you to the right periodical, the specific date, volume and issue, and page number for the article. The process of using an index is similar to the process of doing subject or keyword searches for item in a library catalog. Here is also one example of periodical indexes. Okay, next type is permuted title indexes. An index that contains an entry for each non-trivial word in a title, with the entry word alphabetized and centered on the page surrounded by the rest of the title. In a permuted index, as much of the title as possible appear on either side of the entry word. Long titles may be truncated at the beginning or the end. A stop list may be used to suppress entries for words with no value for retrieval, such as article and conjunction, or a goal list may be used to generate entries for specific words. Next type of indexes is string indexes. String indexes are ordered sequences of character data. Indexing allows you to access individual character in a string directly by using a numeric value. String indexing is zero-based. The first character in the string has index 0, the next is 1, and so on. Here is one example of the string indexes looks like. Okay, next type is uniterm indexes. Uniterm is a combination of two words, unit and term. Unit standard for a single concept and term for a single word uniterm. Therefore, mean a single word representing a single concept. Uniterm indexing system is a post-coordinate indexing system based on term entry principle. Okay, for the second last types of index is word indexes. An index lists the term and topic that are discussed in a document along with the page that they appear on. To create an index, you mark the index entries by providing the name and the main entry and the cross-reference in your document, and then you build the index. You can create an index entry for an individual word, phrases or symbol for a topic that span a range of pages or that refer to another entry, such as transportation, see bicycle. Okay, the last types of indexes is KWOC and KWIC indexes. KWIC is an acronym for keyword in context, the most common format for concordance lines. A KWIC index is formed by sorting and aligning the word within an article title to allow each word in titles to be searchable alphabetically in the index. Book composed of many short sections with their own descriptive heading, most notably collection of manual page often ended with a permitted index section, allowing the reader to easily find a section by any word from its heading. This practice also known as KWOC, which is keyword out of content. So this KWOC and KWIC indexes is related to other types of indexes. That's all. Thank you.